A lot of people want to move to Canada, and majority of them ask this one question: what are the requirements? What do they need to know? Where can they get the work visa sponsorship jobs? What is the route to get permanent residence in Canada? All this information I'm going to answer in this video, so stay tuned and watch up to the end, because I'm going to show you the reason why people move to Canada, why people choose certain routes, the labor shortage, the skills that are required to fill up that labor shortage in Canada, and yes, how you can move to Canada and settle with your family, and of course get that permanent residency immediately. Yes, Canada has come up with new policies literally to fasten the permanent residency for so many migrants, because right now Canada is suffering in terms of labor market shortage that is happening in the healthcare sector, in the tea sector, in the blue collar sector also. Why? Because so many people in Canada are not giving birth, and of course the older generation is the biggest number in Canada, so they have retired. So now there's a big gap that needs to be filled. That's the reason why the government of Canada has turned around and looked at immigrants to fill up that sector, as long as you have the necessary skills they're looking for. So stay tuned, watch the video, and please subscribe to my channel. All right, so why people are moving to Canada? So migrants move to Canada for its exceptional quality of life, stable democracy, high quality public health care, and strong education system. So many people choose that because at the end of the day, they are looking better lives for their children, for themselves, and of course for the future generation. So the key work visa route to permanent residency for those who are interested to move to Canada is as follows. Canada offers several highly structured economic immigration pathways that transition temporary foreign workers to permanent residency. So there is Canadian experience class. It involves and it's the most popular route. So if you have at least 1 year full-time job equivalent of part-time skilled work experience in Canada, or on a valid work permit within the last 3 years, you can apply through the express entry. Also, there is the one for another route, it's called postgraduate work permit, PGWP. If you graduate from a designated Canadian post-secondary institution, you can receive an open work permit. Gaining Canadian work experience during this time puts you in a prime position to apply for PR through CEC or provision programs. So, what is the provision nominee program? So, many provinces nominate foreign workers who possess the specific skills needed in their local economies. So maybe there is a labor gap in those provinces. So now they are required to search outside the country for people who have the specific skills for that particular job to come in and migrate there and fill up that labor shortage in that area. So you can acquire temporary work permit, usually supported by a labor market impact assessment. And once you have a provision nomination, you can successfully secure permanent residency. Okay. So there's also the Atlantic Immigration Program, an employer-driven pathway that helps employers in Canada Atlantic province to hire qualified foreign workers who want to settle permanently in Canada. Okay. So there is also labor shortage driving immigration. That is the key, labor shortage, which is also forcing the government of Canada to look for immigrants who have the specific skills in that particular area. So to come in, they give them work visa, they move in, they settle their family, they work in Canada, and now in the process they're given a pathway to become permanent residency to Canada, and in the long run they'll end up becoming citizens of Canada. So this labor shortage is what Canada is experiencing right now. So Canada relies heavily on immigration due to its aging population and low birth rates, so which have resulted in a shrinking domestic workforce. As millions of Canadians reach retirement age, there are simply not enough younger native born workers to replace them or fund public service like healthcare and pension. So to sustain its economic and public system, Canada uses immigration to fill critical labor and skills skills gap. The shortage is particularly acute in key sectors such as the healthcare. There's high demand for nurses, doctors, and support workers. Unfortunately, there is a labor shortage in that area because the demand is high, the supply of worker is very low. So that's why Canada is forced to look for skilled laborers in that sector from outside the country. Skilled trades, it's needed for construction workers, mechanics, and electrician. Also, this sector is experiencing labor shortage. Technology, there's ongoing recruitment for software engineers, IT analysts, and programmers, but also this sector is experiencing labor shortage. So those are the specific areas that there's a labor shortage in Canada, and that's what they're looking for, migrants to come in who are literally skillful in that sector and settle in Canada, and you're given your working visa, which is literally paving the way for you to become a permanent resident in Canada, and in the long run you end up becoming a citizen of Canada. So let me show you the websites that are legit, where you can get jobs for you and be able to get visa when you want to work in and settle in Canada. All right, so this platform is called in linkedin.com, but you are searching for jobs in Canada. So you're looking for work visa, job sponsorship for Canada. So once you do that in the search bar, it will come here showing Canada, as you can see here. And these are the jobs. So here we have probationary part-time family school liaison worker. All right, then we have project coordinator, probational full-time grade 6 teacher, procurement, elementary. So you can search, as you can see here, there's so many jobs. There are thousands and thousands of jobs, and apply for jobs that have been recently uploaded, because chances are they haven't yet employed anybody. Do not apply for jobs that were posted like a year ago, 6 months ago, because chances are those jobs have already been filled up. So yeah, try your best to apply for jobs that have been like updated on linkedin.com, for example, like 1 hour ago, to 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, but the early bird catches the worm. That's what they say. So apply for jobs that have been recently uploaded. So yes, there are thousands and thousands of jobs here which are being posted every single day, 365 days in a year, in different sector, different countries, because LinkedIn is global and they do post jobs which are legit. So because they always verify those jobs, yeah. And if you get a scammer, it's very very low. But if you do, make sure you have to be careful, because scammers always ask you for money. They always want to waste your time. So if somebody asks you for money, just know this is a problem, that is a scammer. So run very fast. So yeah, so for you to avoid such situations, go on websites that are officially known to have jobs which are legit. So one of them is this site called linkedin.com, but here we are searching for Canada work visa job, and these are the ones, and there are over thousand and thousand of them. Remember, Canada is experiencing labor shortage, and they're looking for migrant workers to fill this position. That's the reason why they're offering you to sponsor you for a visa. So through the job, you do the work, you get a visa for you to settle in Canada, and after a period of time, then you're allowed to have permanent residency. I mean, giving you a route to become a citizen of Canada. Remember, the rules have been changed recently, so in certain jobs you're going to be given a permanent residency immediately. Why? Because they want to attract the cream de la cream, the best of the best in the market. So guys, you can check out these websites. They do have jobs. You see the location Canada here. They've said actively hiring. This is director of customer success, project manager. They're actively hiring and all this stuff. So be checking all that. Okay. Let's proceed to the next websites. All right, so we have it indeed.com. So when you go to indeed.com, look for Canada job, work visa job position. Yeah. So Indeed is literally global platform. So there are different sector, different countries. So we are going to Google search bar and put work sponsorship visa job in Canada, and then it will come. And if you're looking for specific platform like Indeed, then yes, you go on indeed.com platform, then you look for Canada work visa sponsorship job, you'll find them. So here I did my search on the search bar. You can see here I've written Canada visa sponsorship, and yeah, these are the jobs which literally are listed down. So we have lab manager, we have process development engineer, infrastructure engineer, specialist visa, specialist 2 visa for 226 days. It's grant funded. Here it's coordinator 2 visa, 226 days. So here they've indicated exactly the type of job you are going for, and the visa, the number of days. Okay, here is boiler superintendent and many others. So here there are thousands and thousands of jobs which they are looking for you. Remember, Canada is experiencing labor shortage, and that's the reason why they're offering this work visa sponsorship program, because they want to fill this gap. Because Canada right now is have the biggest population is they have an older generation that has retired, and then we're having young children, young people who don't want to give birth. So there's that gap in the middle. So they want people from outside the country to fill that gap in the middle. That's the reason why they're coming with visa program, working visa program, sponsorship that you are seeing here. So yeah, these are the jobs which are available. So guys, you can go ahead and check, and of course you do also your own research. All right, so we have jobbank.gc.ca. This is Job Bank, and it is for Canada. As you can see, it's a government official website, and these are find job, fill a position, find training, explore all training, find a summer job, check out the skill trade. So this is where Canadians have posted jobs, the ones they are looking for people to fill up those positions, and let's click on find a job because that's what we're interested in. And of course, they're going to ask me what kind of a job I'm talking about and all the stuff. So yeah, so basically, one thing I'll tell you, Canada, they're trying to be very active, proactive, because they've realized there's a situation, this market gap, if it's not filled up immediately, then it's going to affect so many future generation of Canada. So yeah, it's a good thing for you to move to Canada, settle down there, because they offer good education system, they do offer health insurance, they do have infrastructures of good condition, they do offer opportunity, greener pasture, better than the original host country. Remember, Canada is a tier one, is a one tier country. It's among the top countries in the world that are superpower, besides of course America and of course Germany. There's UK and many others, but these are the ones which are called the short. They're the ones who literally say what goes and what doesn't go. There's a group of they say G7. Yes, and Canada is one of them. Those are the ones who call the shots when it comes to the geopolitical politics and power. And Canada is among them. So these are the jobs. Okay, so you can literally go ahead and apply. All right, jobs for youth and all this stuff. So remember, they are visa sponsorship jobs. Yeah. So what you need to do is just basically make sure your CV is tailor made for Canadian CV standard jobs. Make sure when you go for an interview, you have practice, you're ready, and when you're given answers, you can answer them accurately. And then once you get the job, make sure when you get the visa, make sure you start the process early. The early bird catches the worm, so that you have an easier time moving to Canada with your family and able to settle down and enjoy the fruits of your labor. So let's proceed to the next website. All right, so this is the government official website for Canada, and this is Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship of Canada. Yeah, so building a stronger Canada through immigration program, citizenship services, refugee protection, and issuing Canadian travel document. So all the information you find on this website. Okay. All right, so there is most requested is the application status and processing time, and many others. So your IRCC application. All right, all this information is available. Visa permits and immigration. Visa Canada Electronic Travel Authorization. Visitor visa, extend your visitor. Live in Canada permanently. Express entry, sponsorship, permanent residency, temporary work permits, postgraduate graduation work permit, international experience Canada, study permit, designated learning institution, work while you study, extension, refugee and asylum, claim asylum, resettle as refugee. All these are pathway for you to settle in Canada. Okay. All right. I don't want to make this video too long. So we have citizenship and settling in Canada. Canadian citizenship. It involves citizenship test, ceremony, proof of citizenship, permanent residency card, renew or replace a lost or expired card. Get your card, first card. passport, adults and child passport photos, and other travel documentation. Settling Canada, free service, find a job, benefits, tax, and for newcomers, international adoption, and many others. So basically, they have all the information that you're looking for those who are interested. But as we're interested in getting a work visa, so there's Visit Canada, and then there's Live in Canada permanently through express entry, sponsorship, and permanent residence. Let's click on that because that's what we are looking for. Because I want people to have an idea so that you, when you go do your own research, at least you have some tips and tricks of what you can do. So Live in Canada. So work-based program, we have express entry, skilled workers, trade people. Like I said, there is a labor shortage in that area in Canada. So they are looking for people in that area of skilled workers in the healthcare sector, for example, doctor, nurses, caregivers. In the IT sector, we have data analysis, we have cybersecurity analysis, we have IT support. People in the technology sector, that is the area where there are literally labor shortage. Then we have blue collar job where they want plumbers, they want electricians, they want people who can help them to build houses and everything. So those are the areas that there's a labor shortage. So express entry is an online system that we use to manage immigration application from skilled workers. There are three immigration programs managed through express entry. There's Canadian Express Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker Program, and then there's Federal Skilled Trade Program. Then there's how the express entry process work. Create a profile and enter the pool. We'll invite the candidates with the most points in rounds. If you're invited to apply, fill out the application. We'll review your application and make a decision. All right. Of course, fee is around 1,590 Canadian dollar. It has been increased from 30th of 2026 of April. Then fees for your family members, if for spouse is 1,590. Also, this one was increased from 30th of April. The dependent child is 270. Also, it has been increased from 30th of April. All right. So who can apply? Compare eligibility requirement for all three programs. Let's click on that because I really want us to have an idea so that you can it can literally help you. Okay, immigration program, Canadian experience class for skilled workers with eligible Canadian workforce. What do they want? Federal skilled workers, for skilled workers with eligible foreign or Canadian work experience. You have to click on these boxes, yeah, so that you can find all this information. So key difference in eligibility criteria. Before you compare programs, here are three terms you should know. Canadian language benchmark. The CLB is the Canadian standard used to measure English language ability of immigrants. National occupation classification. Then NOC is a list of all the occupation in the Canadian labor market. Then we have training, education, experience, and responsibility. The NOC has 6 tier category. A tier category is based on the education and training needed for an occupation. Then there's language skills. Then there's work experience. Then the amount of work experience. Then the job offer. Then education. All these things they're going to check. All right. So if you're eligible, what is the requirement? Provision nominee. If you're eligible for one of these programs, you can also apply through express entry for the provision nominee program. If you're nominated, you will get extra points so you can be invited to apply quickly. All right, so guys, all these are literally an official platform where they are literally breaking down pieces by pieces of all is needed for you to have an easier time to move to Canada and settle with your family by following the rules and regulation. So literally they're showing you in this official website of Canada that there are different pathways for you to settle in Canada, and you have to know your qualification, and then you have to know what are the qualification in the category that you're interested to move into Canada and migrate and settle there. So if you don't meet the requirements, that means they're going to leave you behind, they're going to cut you off. But if you do meet all the requirements for a particular category that you're interested in to use that visa to go and settle in Canada, then prepare your documents early. Make sure you have all the information and submit your documents early. Remember, the early bird catches the worm. Okay. All right, so you've watched the video, I've shown you the step by step of what you need to do. So the question people mostly asking, why do people want to move to Canada? Why are they settling in Canada? First of all, Canada one of the G7 countries in the world. Those are the superpower in the world. They call the shots. Of course, they are part and parcel of Canada. Of course, Canada, America, UK, Germany, Australia, and many others. So yes, These are the countries that call the show. They are usually called G7. Okay, so now the reason why people want to move to Canada, because at the end of the day, people want to literally have a good life. They want to give a better opportunity for their children. They want to give their kids the strongest passport in the world. So yes, Canada has the strongest passport in the world, and you can travel all over the world without a visa, especially more than 100 countries without visa, because Canada is a strong passport. And then the other thing you need to understand, the education system is one of the best in the country. The healthcare system is one of the best in the world. The education system is also one of the best in the world. Then, of course, the living standard is one of the best in the world. In terms of opportunities, open doors for you, it's one of the best in the world. So, yes, the best of the best will stay in Canada, live in Canada. So, even you want to live among the best in the world. So, that's the reason why people want to settle in Canada. And then the other thing is, remember, families always look for greener pastures. They're only looking for the best for the children. Always looking for the future of the children to have the best opportunity where they can thrive, where they can live peacefully, and at the same time where they can build generational wealth. And that's basically what Canada is offering, and that's the reason why a lot of people want to move to Canada. So, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you agree with what I'm saying? If you don't agree with what I'm saying, my comment section is open. You can just drop a comment. At the same time, if you do agree, please also drop a comment, and I'd love for you guys to subscribe to my channel, because I'll be sharing more information on how you can move to Canada and of course other parts of the world and settle, work, and at the same time enjoy the fruits of your labor. But remember one thing: when you move to another country, make sure you follow the rules of the law, because if you end up breaking one of the laws, chances are they are going to deport you back to your original home country, and you're going to cry bitterly tears, because at the end of the day, when you want to move out of the country, you have one aim: to build yourself, to grow yourself and your family, and of course to make investments that are going to benefit you and your future children and your grandchildren and the future generation. That's basically, in a nutshell, that's what everybody is looking when they settle to a new country. Anyway, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much, and kindly subscribe to my channel.